Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new LP. My name is Dimond and we are playing Ratchet Clank 3. Third in the original series and probably the last original game aside from Deadlocked. So we're going to just start off with a new game. Just like that one. And straight into, well, hopefully once it's finished saving. There we go. Wait for it. There we go. Straight into the opening cutscenes.
My Blargian Snagglebeast devours your mutant swamp fly. Oh yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Hey, what are you doing?
Check and mate.
What? That's cheating!
On the contrary, the rules clearly state that the Blargian Snagglebeast has an allergic reaction to swamp flies that last 2 turns. Ooh, it is on again.
Your luck is extraordinary, sir. But do you lose as gracefully as you win?
I would not know, Maximilian. I never lose.
There is a first time for everything. Agent Clank! You missed! So much for the famous secret agent.
Shocking. Bring the car around, Jeeves, and mind the ejector seat this time.
Stay tuned for more Secret Agent Clank.
That was terrific.
Yeah, great. Change the channel.
But the man said to stay tuned.
We continue our live coverage from Veldin. Just hours ago, the planet was attacked without warning by a terrifying alien race known as the Tyrannoids. Officials believe that an evil robotic supervillain known as Dr. Nefarious is the mastermind behind the Tyrannoid attack. As you can see, the Galactic Rangers are putting up a valiant fight, but they are no match for these tentacle-eyed terrors. Indeed, this backwater planet may be completely destroyed in a matter of hours. Darla Gratch, Channel 64 News.
We're going home.
But Veldin is in a Solana galaxy. Oh no, not the gravimetric warp drive. The untested gravimetric warp drive. The one you metal.
Coming?
We are doomed.
You were saying?
I stand corrected.
I just hope we're not too late.
Alright, there we go. So we're going back to the Solana galaxy, the galaxy from the first game. Which is pretty cool. I like that about Ratchet Clank 3, the fact that it kind of returns you back to the original game. And we're in fact going back to Ratchet's home planet, which is kind of cool. Well, really cool, to be honest. There we are. And we're dropped right off the bat.
Greetings, client 91802.
Have we got any weapons? No, we don't. It's literally just the wrench for the moment. But yeah, we're dumped right into the combat on Ratchet's home planet. Feels weird. Hang on, I'm gonna have to sort the controls out. There we go. So, what I've done is I put it on lock strafe mode, which is a great addition to the Ratchet Clank series. Because while you've got a weapon out, you're stuck in strafe, which is good because you don't have to hold down the trigger. But while you've got the wrench out, it's normal sort of third-person mode, which is good. Right, let's see what these guys have to say.
These must be the Galactic Rangers.
Hey, look! It's a new sergeant!
Huh?
Hey, Sarge, you can have my gun. There's too many of them! We're all gonna die!
Press R1 to fire your shock blaster.
Okay. So as you can see, now that we've got a weapon out, we're in strafe mode, which is great. And then you can always just go back to the wrench for the tricky platforming bits. Now, Ratchet Clank 3, I've always said, is my least favourite Ratchet Clank game, but to be honest, I've been thinking about it recently, and to be honest, it's not. I'll explain why after this cutscene.
Am I glad to see you, Sarge? We're pinned down by that enemy vehicle. Somebody's gotta take it out.
Let me guess. That somebody is me.
We got a volunteer. Here, Sarge, take this. We'll cover you. From back there.
Try using the nitro launcher against that vehicle.
Okay, so we've now got the bomb launcher gun of this game. Makes short work of that. Anyway, yeah, so I always thought, especially after the original trilogy, Ratchet Clank 3 was my least favourite.
To select weapons, hold triangle and select an item.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Miss Help Desk. Yeah, I always thought it was my least favourite because, apart from the sort of the combat missions, like the sort of military campaign style missions, there's not much added to it. It's kind of just like it is a sequel to Ratchet Clank 2, a true sequel. But I've recently been thinking, and especially in regards to the story, it's got one of the best stories in the entire series, I think. I mean, it's still probably my least favourite out of the original trilogy, but that's not a bad thing, because the original trilogy is just fantastic. There we go, we've got an airship. Lovely. Just a nitro launcher. And they sort of, yeah, they haven't added a lot of innovation to the original series, but then again, they've kind of honed it, they've perfected a little bit. Ratchet Clank 2 was sort of bring all of the sort of upgrade aspects and the armor and stuff like that, made it a bit more difficult than the first game. But then they've sort of perfected that in number 3, and that's not a bad thing.
Your maximum nanotech level has increased.
Sweet. Now this place looks familiar from the first game. Oh no, that's Ratchet's garage. Oh no, what's happened to it? There. Kill them easily. And before I activate the last cutscene, I'm just going to go over and get all these lovely bolts over here. So yeah, I'm genuinely looking forward to this playthrough, because I've always sort of had this sort of prejudice against the third game, and I don't know if it's because I'm a little bit older and I'm sort of looking back at the series now as sort of like as a whole rather than as individual games, and so my perspective on it has changed quite a bit, but I'm looking forward to playing through it with a sort of a more favourable light, because it's definitely my least favourite in the original series, but then with the future series as well, I like Tools of Destruction more than this, because that feels quite a lot like the first game, the first Ratchet Clank game altogether. But I'd say I like this more than Crack in Time. So, well, that brings back memories. Devious Captain Quark. It's a bit sad that this place has been demolished, but oh well. Hey guys.
What's the situation?
The Noids have fallen back to a base in F Sector. We have orders to go in and take them out. F Sector? No way. Game over, man. We're all gonna end up as scrap metal.
Get back in there, Trooper. We've got a planet to save.
Sir, yes, sir.
Alright. And one thing I will say about Ratchet Clank 3 is I love the design of this dropship. It just looks awesome. Looks powerful, looks menacing. And the skydiving, that's a pretty cool addition. I like that.
I'm afraid of heights.
So here we have the sort of the first combat sort of mission. And you can see a mini-map, or like a radar, like a motion sensor. It really has sort of like a little bit of a different game, where like the control scheme of Lockstrafe really comes in handy. Right. Automatically started pressing the R2 but L2 button to strafe. I don't need to know because it does lock. I really like the fact that the fire button is now on shoulder button as well with lock strafe. It makes firing a lot easier, especially controlling the camera. It makes it feel sort of like a much more like a third-person shooter. And when with the gun out, that's a good thing, especially since with the wrench, it's a very good control scheme. Like with the wrench out, it turns into more of a platformer, so you're not hindered by the fact of strafing. But then with the gun out, with the gun out, it is like shooting controls. It feels a lot better, a lot more cleaner. That's really good, a really good thing. So yeah, I mean, I think the lock strafe mode was like a secret addition. A secret addition to Ratchet Clank 2, like you got it. Where are these enemies that this guy was shouting about? Yeah, you unlocked it after beating the game because you also got first-person mode. But then it's the fact that it's now like a default thing. It just feels so much cleaner, crisper as a sort of control scheme. It's a lot easier to play. And I will be sort of using lock strafe from now on. I think you can get it in the future series. I know the controls were completely revamped. Whoa. Revamped and crack in time, but Tools of Destruction was pretty loyal. Let's get the nitro launcher out. Oop. Hey, you can't shoot through walls. Alright, job done. Only lost one bit of health. Let's see what these guys have to say.
Sir, we have a transmission from the president.
How are things on the front lines, soldier? Is that secret agent Clank?
Greetings, sir. We are here to help.
Well, this is an honor, and I see you brought your chauffeur along.
What? No. Hold on a second, sir.
Agent Clank, we must stop Dr. Nefarious. As you may know, only one man has ever faced him and survived. I've just received a top-secret report on that man's whereabouts. Here, take a look.
On tonight's episode of Nature's Mysteries, we examine the Florana tree beast. Deep in the dense growth of Florana's Jambu forest lives a mysterious creature. Or maybe he doesn't. It's one of Nature's Mysteries.
I seen him run right through our camping site. He was buck naked, screaming and holding a banana. Or maybe it weren't a banana. It could be.
One of Nature's Mysteries. Legend tells that this mysterious creature is actually one of the greatest superheroes who ever lived. Shamed by his recent past, he is now one of Nature's Mysteries. Tune in and find out the answers.
We need you to find this man. The fate of the galaxy may depend on it.
Are you sure this is the guy you're looking for, Mr. President? Yeah, he seems like kind of a, wacko.
You may be right, but he's the best chance we've got. I know you boys won't let me down.
You can count on us, sir.
Okay, and there we go. One thing I will say about Ratchet Clank 3 is its sense of humor is brilliant. It's some of the best funny lines in the series is from number 3. And I just realised that joke. As an older mind, I've just realised that whole maybe it wasn't a banana. Is that a phallic reference? Quite possibly. There you go. More of a grown-up sense of humour from number 3. Innuendos. Okay. So here we are on Florana, and I'm going to end it here, I do believe. It's a nice little welcome to Ratchet Clank 3. Going back to Velden, we're now back in the galaxy of Ratchet Clank, Ratchet's home. And in the next episode, we will fight our way through, was it the Jambu? I can't remember. This rainforest in this beautiful jungle setting. But until then, thank you guys for watching. My name's Hal Dimond, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.